Hello and welcome. This stream is an experiment, but also a regular stream at the same time. So, what is currently ongoing is that this stream is running on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, which is a feature that is now allowed and has been for a little while. But I haven't tried it. This has a number of quirks and tricks to it. I have to set YouTube as my primary streaming source. This is because the guide that I found for setting this up suggests doing that so that you can optimize for YouTube's better quality streams individually, which I did not do, so the YouTube quality and the Twitch quality should be identical. As far as features and stuff go, I believe that, well, YouTube doesn't have channel point redeems, and also I don't think the YouTube chat will appear on screen at all. It looks like there is already one message in both chats, so maybe it did and I just don't know. But I think YouTube chat is invisible unless I specifically go out of my way to add another chat thing somewhere. And I mean, I can see it, but I don't think it will appear on screen. And like, people on YouTube will not be able to use like channel point redeems and stuff. But it should look the same on either. I don't know how useful this will be to anyone, but if it's useful to anyone at all, then I guess that's helpful and good. As long as it doesn't explode my computer. Maybe this will mean I have like 5 viewers at once instead of 3. Haha.
To the stars. Stick for a body. Please consult a botanist. Kung Fu Cut Man, Kya.
Destroy!
There are many funny redeems that you can only use by being in the Twitch chat. This also clogs up my OBS more. There's more things everywhere. I don't need to see my concurrent view count, probably. So anyway. Yeah, I feel like Dr. Kung Fu Cutman would not be ideal for that situation. But yeah, hello, welcome. Welcome to everyone. In addition to all of those things that I said, it is also Calico's 2nd birthday. Happy birthday, Calico! I've set this up now. That might be really loud.
Birthday 2. Num nom 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 nom.
And the birthday redeem portion from the previous year is also still here. Because I thought it was still funny. Anyway. Growing strong and healthy, Calico. But yes, ideally this should look the same on either streaming service. The only thing that this does in terms of like on my end is I guess it might tax my internet more, and also it's a little bit more annoying to like set up individual stream information, but it's fine. Last time on Elden Ring the Convergence though, we got this weapon, Trisha's Pomander. It's the fancy ultimate weapon for the Perfumer that you acquire by doing a little scavenger hunt. It's a mace. Its heavy attacks release perfume clouds as a projectile that can hit from a distance. It can swap between multiple elements, and it has a big ol' fancy attack that you can also do. Might not be the most practical attack. Now, one thing I should show, I guess, if I can, I should have prepared this in advance, honestly. I don't know how I did it, and I can't replicate it. But it is possible to glitch this weapon out and like have it duplicate the model. I will retrieve an image that I posted somewhere and place it on this screen. Somehow, by like rapidly swapping or using the attack or something, I caused a second mace to be sprouting out of the first mace. Now, at first it was poking out of the side of the mace, but if I swapped off of the weapon and then swapped back to the weapon, it would be added to the top of it, like this. This did actually double the range of the weapon, because the hitbox actually was at the tip of like the entire model. This persisted until I completely unequipped the weapon and then re-equipped it, and I haven't been able to replicate it since. So if I wasn't so QA brained, I would have been able to keep this. But maybe it'll happen again. But like, basically, if you look closely, during the first frame of the animation for this big fancy attack, or like the first frames, you can see another mace sprout out of it. This is a quirk, I assume, of the animation that they had to make for this weapon as part of this mod. And like, I assume what it's doing is loading a like chain mace model to like go on top of or temporarily replace the non-chain mace model. And somehow I managed to glitch it out to have both models present all the time. And then I have to assume from there that for whatever reason, the game detects that there's already a model in these coordinates and like shifts it or like offsets it in some way, which is how I got the double mace. I'm not like enough of an expert at video game to know how to explain like why this happened, but that's my best guess based on what little I do know. But yeah, you can see that you can see the secondary mace popping up sometimes. It does appear to be like mostly despawning the extra model properly. But if at any point it doesn't, just incidentally, because I can't figure out how to oh yeah, that's another thing I have to talk about. Teehee. I can't figure out how to replicate the bug. But it is somehow possible to like double the range of this weapon. I believe according to the Discord server, this thing also has ridiculous poise damage and might be reworked in the next update. So hey, good timing, I guess. It is extremely fused from Tears of the Kingdom, that's for sure. The other thing I need to mention that you saw me do accidentally is that last time when we got the Frenzy Mule, this mule was located directly next to the body of a nomadic merchant. And in the base game, that particular nomadic merchant sold explosive bolts, which are a crossbow ammo that has a big AoE explosion. We did pick up the bell bearing for that merchant as part of getting the mule. And so I realized that, and now we have explosive bolts. So I can also create giant explosion. Now, I want to say, based on like the wiki information for the base game, normally you'd be able to be hit by this explosion, but it seems like that's not the case in Convergence mod.
Collision, 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 collision.
I forgot that she pronounced it collision. In Tears of the Kingdom speedruns, they use a glitch that lets them equip multiple weapons. Interesting. Oh, that's really funny. Probably also distressing to listen to, but at least like funny conceptually. Now, I'm not like using the repeating crossbow much, but just for funsies, I do want to show what happens if you repeating fire the exploding bolts. You'll notice also that the exploding bolts do less damage, but yeah. And also, this is related to what you just said about the weapon stacking in Tears of the Kingdom, because you'll notice they actually reduced the sound volume for the exploding bolts when rapid firing them. Oop, that's a kick. Like, I'm pretty sure that this is louder than this is. Or at least the way that they do sound makes it not stack, which is a fun consideration that they probably had to do. In this case, they, I believe, would be FromSoft and not the Convergence team. So yeah, that's where we stand on Convergence and stuff going on. And with that, I'm gonna mark multiple locations at the edge of the map by mistake when clicking out of the window. With that, we've done the major Perfumer quest. We have located all the Perfumer armor. I guess we take a look at our notes. Yeah, we have all the armor. We're now using the Perfumer set instead of the Omen Killer set because the perfume weapon, the Pomander, does in fact scale with perfume damage, unlike the Perfumer bolts for some reason. And there's a number of other weapons here. I don't really care about the Dung Eater. We have the Ripple, we saw the Ripple Blade, but it's not that useful. There's all the perfume bottles, but I have the ultimate Pomander, so it doesn't matter that much for that either. The only thing of real interest here that we could check out would be the Jar Cannon, which is a ballista instead of a crossbow. And like, if they added scaling to a ballista, that sounds funny. Especially because there's also exploding great bolts. You know, one thing I should check though. I doubt it, but I want to check. 723, remove the Perfumer's Talisman. 723. Yeah, explosions are not perfume. I figured there was like a tiny chance that if the Perfumer's bolt didn't properly scale, then something else did instead by mistake. So there should be a volcano cave around here somewhere. I don't actually know where that is. If we want to find the Jar Cannon, I guess I could look that up. Just because, like, why not, right? Might as well. Let's see. Elden Ring Volcano Cave. Where is this at? Oh, that's way up there. That is roughly hereabouts. So I don't know exactly how to get there, but we can probably get there. Oh yeah, we also found the hero's grave and didn't explore it. But that's fine. We're not really supposed to be in Gelmir yet, even though we are above level. But, well, you know. Oh. Well, I don't know why that happened, but I guess we have the double mace now. Hey, how about that? Convenient. As you can see... Well, first of all, it's Calico's birthday. Hello and welcome.
Birthday 2. Nom 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 nom.
As you can see, this does actually change the weapon's hitbox, as I mentioned. You can see like the trail swooshing around at the tip of it. So we have actually doubled the range of this weapon. I think it's also changing where the perfume waves emerge. Now, if we use the special attack, it'll likely, yeah, it'll go back to this, but if we swap, ta-da. Now, the only way to reset this, which is a negative thing for us to do, really, is to unequip and re-equip the weapon. So I guess area transitions are some factor that's involved. But yeah, like, the reason I think that this is like the chain mace model pasted on the regular mace is, well, because of the chain connecting the two there. Like, I think it's because it has to load a second model and sometimes it gets stuck. That is my only explanation. Seems to persist on horseback as well. Which is, I guess this is a even better way to demonstrate that the hitbox has changed, because you can see where the sparks on the ground from impact hit. That's fascinating, I think. But yeah, we're not entirely gun-based anymore. We have the gun, and we also have the mace. The mace is apparently ridiculously strong, according to the Discord, but also, like, anecdotal evidence from what we've done so far. But I will still be making use of the gun, I'm sure. Wait, hold up. If you hold it, it continuously emits perfume when you're mounted? So it's also like, okay, yeah. This thing just keeps getting better by the second. That's kind of funny. So, okay, this was like the cliffside that we needed to climb to get to the mount. Seems like it. So I think if we climb up here again, that should put us near the volcano cave, maybe? I can see kind of why they said they were... Why I saw someone in the Discord for Convergence mods say that they were going to rework this weapon in the next patch. I only saw one person said it, so it could be a case of one person says something that's not true. But, most discussion I've seen surrounding this Pomander appears to be about how ridiculously strong it is. And I will say again, they did mention the poise damage specifically. So that's something to try. I'll have to, like... I played, like, the one boss fight I've had since I got this thing safe and still mostly use the gun. The pulley crossbow, to be technically specific and more correct. But, like... if we can stance break bosses really easily with this thing, that's even sillier. I guess we just go that way for the cave. Oh. I gotta remember how to play the video game. Hold on. I think the explosive bolts that I also have now are primarily going to be useful for AoE situations. Alright, I have the rot bolts and the explosive bolts equipped. Because, like, it's still useful to inflict a status ailment. now and then. And like the rot bolts are the one I have on a crossbow with any range. Wait, this is... Huh, wait, hold on. I guess this isn't the one you start with as a frenzy wizard in the mod. And I simply forgot about that. I want to check though. Or maybe it is because I didn't get one from visiting the Frenzy Village. Ah, whatever. Not particularly important. Yeah, it seems like the volcano cave is probably up here then. Oh. We've also got mystic stuff going on over here, huh? Because we haven't gone to the underground much yet. I guess we didn't see some of the other mystic stuff that I know is in here. Mystic being another one of the starting classes. Is this going to be a mystic themed dungeon then? Yes. Well, that answered that question. It's also worth noting that we don't have the stealth bauble equipped anymore, because I now have multiple damage and utility related things equipped instead. So what's the AoE on this like anyway? Pretty good. Better than the Perfumer bolt and its small AoE that it has. But I guess I don't need to worry too much about sneaking around. God, this mace is so goofy looking when it's like this. There's no reason to use light attacks either, because like the strong attacks are almost as fast. Yes, this mod does allow you to have unlimited ammo, thanks to the Quiver Talisman, which makes you have unlimited bow or crossbow ammo. Plus it makes crossbows scale with stats, which is not typical of Elden Ring, or any From Software property. So bows and crossbows become much better. Generally. You know what, that's fair. I still have to be a little bit careful, probably. Occasionally, sometimes. But yeah, as soon as I figured that out, as soon as I noticed the Quiver Talisman, that's why I started like streaming this again. Because I thought crossbow build seemed quite funny, especially because the Perfumer class starts with the pulley crossbow, which has this burst fire, and as you can see, scales a lot with arcane, and also some with strength and dex. So I started doing that, and then I noticed, then we found part of this thing, which you have to do like an elaborate treasure collecting quest to complete, and then this thing is ridiculous, so now I'm using both the crossbow and this weapon. This mod also allows you to summon spirits anywhere. And instead of costing resources to use them, they instead of costing resources to use them, they cost some of your max resources. It still benefits me a lot to mostly use a crossbow during boss fights, is something I'm seeing. There's the jar cannon and the glowing rune of ancestors. Oh, I thought vapor spray was something they started with. So we didn't get this one last time. Curse of continuous damage and poise drain, interesting. Curse of attacking anything nearby. Magic damage. Curse of damage whenever sleep triggers on them. And the jar cannon, of course. Much arcane scaling. We have to try the jar cannon a little bit. It's probably not going to be as good, but like just having a ballista is funny. If I can upgrade it, I should do that as well. Ooh, wrong way. That was a very short cave, by the way. Weird cave.
You know how to lay out your own.
Oh, right. There's a separate category. Oh, we got it to the same level as the other thing. All right, so this is obviously going to be heavier. Gun, parentheses, actual. I've heard of someone doing a ballista run in the base game, which would have had limited ammo and no scaling on said ballista. But, you know, so we only have ballista bolt and explosive great bolt on hand, I believe. This also has kick. It's very slow. Pretty good damage for a single shot, though. And of course... Okay, that does less. Does this still hurt me? No. Okay, they've removed all explosions hurting you, as far as I can tell. Let's compare. We'll have the explosive bolts and explosive great bolts, so we can try both of these things at once. Wrong. 723. 782. This does actually do more than the volley, but it's like much more impractical as a trade, I suppose. Now if we compare Lord Sworn and Ballista Bolt regular. This does more than regular, because Lord Sworn's like a step above. I should try regular. I think I have just plain old bolt. Okay, this still does more. So like, I mean, obviously the crossbow's upgraded a bit more too, so the jar cannon probably could... It has more range. It probably could eventually do more damage per button press. And it I'm gonna guess it probably does like a lot more poise damage because of, you know, it's a ballista. So it has value, but I don't think it's very practical, probably. Funny though. God. Anyway. Now that we have that out of the way, I think I should probably just start arbitrarily doing stuff that normal style. Ish. I guess that means next on our list would be going to Caelid. Presumably. So, well, I mean, unless we go around cleaning up all of the uncleared stuff here and there, hither and thither, which we could also do. It depends on how interesting that seems to just go around doing generic dungeons and things. I want to do one thing over here. I want to see if I accidentally kill patches in one swing or a shot, thus ruining questline forever, because that sounds funny. I suppose I could also go around doing all this miscellaneous stuff on my own time off camera, if I decided that that sounded interesting to me. Or rather, if I decided it wouldn't be interesting to show on stream. It's possible that any number of those random dungeons are like reworked. So there's that to consider. Oh yeah, I haven't gone this way at all. I don't think... no, I think I fought the invader that's over here. No, I didn't. Well, this is gonna be funny. Watch out! It's the bloody finger. Reduvia is still theoretically... Well, no, I guess it's Faith Arcane. No. I was gonna say, maybe that's theoretically still a good weapon for me, but not really. Also, I don't need it. I don't need any more weapons, I'm good. There is something that's just kind of fun and chill about going around clearing every single dungeon or whatever, so I might do that too, unless people start protesting loudly at the concept. Much to think about. Your worst. They're very friendly. They're just like a little doorbell chime. Or like a little wind chime attached to a door to let you know when someone enters. That sort of thing. Okay. Will patches live? I've never actually killed patches before, I don't think.
Well. Thought you'd just help yourself to a man's personal belongings, huh? You scheming little thief. The gods
Okay, fine. I guess I can't just stroll up and hit him in the head. Oh. Counter!
To the stars. From that day onward. Shoot and I'll move in a flash. So, I am a cat.
Destroy!
I don't really think that ruins that much, and it's also quite funny, so, you know. That's what happens when you're a really early game boss man, and I have this. It's really powerful, especially against living things. You know what? Heck it, I'm just gonna run around doing all the stuff that's on my hit list. The game does give you just like a straight up list of all the stuff. If I get bored of this, I'll move on and just go fight Radon or whatever. It's my stream, and I can do what I want. And so on. And also this way we get to see if we changed anything. And also I feel like this is, like I was saying, this is just like a chill time. I hope for my streams to be just like a chill time, mostly. And I think this qualifies, oddly enough, having a chill time with Elden Ring. Oh, I have a lot of these. Something died. Okay, so you can get physic remnants beyond the number of things that you can make quite easily. We'll have to remember the ability to increase the power of mounted attacks as a potentially funny bit for the future. Experiencing time is something that's quite difficult to avoid doing, I find. Why not? How many rune do I have? Not enough to level up. I guess the one damage type this thing can't do is Holy. But I don't think... I can equip Holy Bolts, so it's not really a problem. I guess... Well, no, it does magic with the cold version. I'm not well versed enough in the elemental weaknesses of Elden Ring to like know what's practical when.
Tuna cake? Wow. Thank you.
Hello, welcome. Happy birthday indeed to Calico. The explosive bolts seem like they're pretty useful to have. Whoop. I guess the quick attack, the light attack, still is a little bit quicker. All the redeems are happening.
Birthday to num nom 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 nom.
Thank you for petting Calico and giving her a cake.
Oh my god!
And summoning Barry. I'm doing that. Literally all the redeems are happening. Me caring so little about being careful in this early dungeon that I forget where all the funny imps are. Not that it matters. Hee 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 hee. I have a lot of redeems. This is just sort of hitting me again right now. Yeah, that's some poise damage, alright. That could be true. There is an Elden Ring manga that's like a comedy manga. I wouldn't say that the protagonist in that doesn't care. It's more like nobody else really cares and they overreact wildly to a lot of things, if I remember correctly. It's a bit of an odd manga. It makes Ronnie like way pettier. She complains that the protagonist needs to brush his teeth. These are like the few things that I remember. Anyway, in case you just got here and you're wondering what the deal is with this mace, first of all, in this mod, there's an elaborate quest for the Perfumer to do like a scavenger hunt to collect the pieces of a weapon that can be repaired, and that's what this is. It's a mace that can shoot perfume, and it can swap its element. That's the wrong button. It can swap its element, and it can do an elaborate big fancy attack, which is cool. If you were wondering why it was extending from itself like that, that's because there's a glitch that I don't know how to purposefully activate. That, well, sometimes the model of the chain whip attack gets pasted on top of the model from the regular thing, doubling the range of the weapon. And this is like permanent until you unequip and re-equip the weapon entirely. And if like it goes away temporarily, you just have to weapon swap to and fro. It's a silly shenanigan. And I wasn't planning on using it intentionally, but it glitched again when I was talking about how I couldn't replicate the glitch, and then I teleported to another area. Anyway. So there's a number of things still going on here that we need to deal with. I don't quite remember how to get back to the... I remember this dungeon. I don't quite remember how to get back there. I'm gonna start over here. I've just arbitrarily decided we're like 100%ing all the caves or whatever. For fun. This reminded me that I can level up now, probably. The fact that this game tells you where like people are, or rather where dungeons you haven't done yet are after you clear the main boss of an area, sort of encourages that kind of behavior. I guess I didn't talk to this guy. Oh, they just put the Naga Kiba there now? Like in his initial starting location? That's very kind of them. The Naga Kiba is a very good weapon in the base game, simply because its hitbox is the size of... Well, it's the size of this mace pasted onto itself, but without being a glitch. I think you just fall down here. Is this safe? No. I have to use the whooshy zone over there. It's difficult to judge fall distance sometimes, which is why there's an item for doing it, but also I don't really care enough. I guess. Right there's one that I can get to, I think. I think this is how you get into the blood zone. We've done this dungeon on the Frost Witch run. think as far as upgrading stuff goes, by the way, Crossbow is still going to be my priority over the Pomander. But, like, the Pomander is obviously very strong. And I think the only situation where the priority will become directly relevant will be when we get to, like, the final upgrade tier, which we are not quite at yet. I mean, we might have to have the resource... what I'm trying to say is that they will be competing for resources and whatnot. But, yeah. You have to go this way in this version of the game in order to access the little tutorial area, which is now its own form of dungeon. The Cave of Knowledge has become Bloodzone, if you don't remember. This is where we got one of the Convergence weapons that I was actually able to use on the previous character, which seemed kind of wild. I believe this also teleported me to somewhere far away, and then I spent a long time trying to fight a boss, and eventually won. I suspect that this area and boss and that boss will be significantly less problem with funny bow build. And funny Pomander. I forgot about the exploding blood zombies. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that Scarlet Rot doesn't really work here, by the way. Also, I just remembered that I died, so I should use the Great Rune that I have, because rune arcs seem a lot more common in the Convergence mod as well. Yeah. Even though this is in Limgrave, I remember this seeming like it was a bit of a later, or like you're intended to be here later type of situation. But it seems to be working out just fine. For my, well, okay, I'm level 87. It's not like I'm here early, necessarily. Only in terms of, like, main story progression am I here early. So, I think the explosive bolts are going to be something I always want to have on hand, either for enemies that are, like, I might miss slightly, or just for enemies that, well, where there are several next to each other. Because it's good to have a distance AoE option. And then I guess, honestly, just having a standard, strong, generic physical attack might be wise. The first bolt is the one I'm most likely to swap around, I suppose. But yeah, AoE seems like it's nice to have. Yes, the blood gas causes bleed buildup. So this isn't a rot area, this is a twisted blood zone. Thorns is another way to describe that. Yeah, this is an aberrant sorcery dungeon. I wonder how well the explosions do about going through shields and the like. Alright, there is some value in the light attack. I wasn't giving it credit. It is notably quicker. Gotta wait for the blood gas to cool down. And yeah, there's the Crimson Briar Bough, which we found last time. I should note, in case it wasn't clear, this heavy attack combo is 2 button presses. That second hit and the follow-up is in 1 button. 1 button press, 2 button presses. That feels like it's important to know. I think I should be able to... I might be able to wield this. No, it's Intelligence Arcane, right? But yeah, we saw this a little bit in the Frost Witch playthrough. You can do some sort of wild briar attack with it. And yep, as I expected, there is a portal here to further adventures beyond. And we found some of the thorn sorceries over here, as I recall, yeah. We're all the way over here now, in the Shaded Castle. I remember this happening. And I believe this is different than normal as well. But since I'm just sort of doing whatever, and I'm not afraid of this area, I was concerned when we were teleported here before, but now I'm not really concerned anymore. For various reasons. I think I can, like, wander around. Ah, my phone is telling me to go to bed. No. My phone has a sleep tracking, or is connected to a sleep tracking thing, which always tells me that 9 p.m. is the time to prepare to go to sleep. Even though I have never, like, I've never really prepared to go to sleep around this time in my life. It's either earlier because I feel very tired or much later. So I'm not sure where my phone gets this idea. By the way, it's possible I should experiment with the other elements that this mace can do. Lightning is just sort of what I'm defaulting to, because I think it does the most damage due to not being associated with the status effect. But honestly, I should probably default to, like, Frost for boss fights, because Frostbite still does % damage. Right, the Clean Rot set was up here. Faith, Arcane, and Endurance, and increase all physical damage. Pretty good. It might even be wise to default to Frost outside of boss fights. Ah, you can see here an example of what it looks like when there are 2 models not stuck to each other in the same way. It just sort of juts out of the side awkwardly. This does still affect the hitbox. It is slightly displaced to the side as a result of this, which is not useful. But once you swap it back over, it goes back to being long mace. I think the main reason I wasn't using Frost before is because I was in Frost Zone. That's an attack I need to remember. The running dash attack seems very quick. I remember having trouble with that particular enemy, this single Clean Rot Knight. It's fun to not have any worries in the world of Elden Ring. There's gotta be like an enemy here. Yep. Someone thinks they can use a crossbow against me? I can press a lot of wrong buttons and maybe prove them right. I think at this point I was like, oh no, another one. Probably. That's another use for explosions. As I remember, I think, yeah, over here is where there's like the Super Thorns rune, or a Super Thorns rune. I never remember how the tiers go. Okay, this is the penultimate Thorn rune. I do remember this. We got a perpetual enchantment from this, and we didn't have one. Probably not worth putting a bunch more points into intelligence to get a little bit of HP regen and physical damage. There probably won't be a perpetual enchantment for me to use. Now, if I remember correctly, the other thing in this castle, well, there's the boss fight here that took me ages to do as Frost Witch. I believe this is identical to the fight here in the base game, because it's just... What's your name again? Elamir of the Briar? Yep. A dangerous fellow, to be sure. I dodged a little bit too late. But yeah, much easier with this situation. Didn't get it on the first try, but I think we can manage. I also don't know how you feel about various status ailments. So it might be worth trying to cause rot and bleed, and so on. It does seem that way. Why not also fire? I don't know. Right, this. Well, he is taking rot damage. That's something. I'm a little bit greedy trying to actually hit with the Pomander now that I have it, I think, is part of this. Also, he kills you very quickly. I mean, he kills me very quickly. I have no vitality. But we won't be here for hours this time, probably. Theoretically, cold should be the best option, just for general purpose, because of Frostbite's use, as I was saying. What if I... just... Oh, I forgot that has a hitbox. Okay, we might be here for a little bit. It's got really weird timing and stuff going on too. I'm dead already. You don't have to shield slam my corpse into paste. It's just rude. That's just rude, man. I've also just remembered I do have a flask of Wondrous Physic. The way that he specifically delays stuff, and also, like, there's not really a way to predict the range of his attacks very well, is what makes this messy, I think. I feel like it's probably a safe bet that he doesn't bleed very easily also, so maybe I shouldn't bother trying that. I could also try summoning. I do have summons. It wouldn't really make me die any slower. Or faster, rather. Considering my low health. I remember I had trouble distracting him with spirits before. He just seemed to be arbitrary in his actions a lot of the time. Oh, maybe. Something about how I just simply don't know how to dodge this guy reliably. But summoning, I think, helped. Hello there to a YouTube chat, which unfortunately does not display on the screen. But hello, welcome. This is my first experiment with streaming simultaneously on multiple platforms. Since that is the thing you can do. There are a lot of features that are only on the Twitch stream, or like only accessible via the Twitch stream, but you know, for some added convenience, maybe it's worth it. This is Elden Ring, but it's the Convergence mod, which adds a lot of different stuff. I guess my YouTube stream title is just like something arbitrary that's not indicative of what I'm doing at all, so. But yeah, this is Elden Ring, a mod for it that adds a bunch of things. Except this boss fight's from the regular game, and I'm also being killed repeatedly. Why does my screen look like Windows 95? Because I set up my stream layout to look like that, for fun. Just because I could. I'm not playing Elden Ring on Windows 95, which would maybe be an impressive feat, but I don't actually know. Dang it. I thought I wouldn't have as much trouble with this fight as I did when I was a Frost Witch, but I seem to be having exactly as much trouble with this fight. Which is unfortunate because this is a recurring enemy. Okay, I guess I do die faster when I have spirits summoned. Sometimes, but not always. Yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to show the YouTube chat in the same way that I show the Twitch chat on screen, unfortunately. I mean, I could capture the YouTube chat and put that on screen somewhere else, but there's not exactly room for that, really. Okay, there's like no windows to safely reload against this boss fight, which is a problem. I am not sure what to do exactly. What does OCR mean? YouTube should be seeing the Twitch chat, at least, because it should be getting the exact same feed. When I see OCR, I think overclocked remix, which I don't know how that applies. I did do videos with that person a long time ago, yeah, but I haven't spoken to them in a very long time. Optical character recognition. Not something I'm familiar with. Maybe I just need to try and, like, focus on the melee. Whoop. Wrong flask. God. I mean, that went better. Just the weird delays with the sword. Oh, you found this stream by browsing the algorithm? The algorithm has done something for me for once? Incredible. I had no idea an algorithm could do anything to benefit me specifically. Considering that I'm a pretty small content creator compared to many at this point. Granted, I still have a number of YouTube subscribers from a long time ago. Not like an incredible amount, but maybe that's why the algorithm is doing something. Who knows? I'll kill this boss eventually, don't you worry. Yeah, considering that I've been on YouTube for like probably for like over a decade, definitely over a decade. Yeah. It's funny you bring up Raocow YouTube chat because I got my start when I was basically imitating Raocow, being an impressionable young teenager. That was basically what I was like at the start of my YouTube career. I forgot to do the summon, which is kind of important. Over time, I have become a different person. Several times, in fact. Ow. What? A pioneer species. Yeah. He's still pretty good. I still watch him occasionally. He seems like a pretty cool guy. But I've become far removed from him in my behavior at this point. And he's also changed as a person over time too. So dang it. But yeah, back in the day when randomness was humor. Monkey cheese, people said. These days I'm more just like kind of chill, and I also put way too much effort into like random things you can do on the stream if you want to. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't have access to the Twitch point or Twitch channel point redeems. But I occasionally put a lot of effort into bits, but mostly I and just kind of chill. Just do whatever I feel like. Oh. I forgot you could do your shield slam. There we go. I forgot this guy could do the shield slam like while the sword was absent. Folk absurdism. Is that what you would call this? Oh no, why isn't it working? God dang it. I mean, it's doing this part.
Destroy!
I mean, you can do that, but there's a lot more to that redeem normally. Okay, so this was happening before. Some part of the funny machine was getting stuck, and I don't know why. So that seems to confirm that it's a persistent issue. Okay, it's time. Support Boreal Rabbin with Twitch bits or channel points, and you know. All right, let's log into Twitch. Right, because of how I had to rearrange the deck chairs. I don't know why I said it that way. Little bit of monkey cheese returning from the void. Because I had to rearrange things, I am now technically not logged into Twitch in the Twitch chat. So let me fix this. It's probably gonna be like, yeah, check your mobile phone. Uh-huh. Yeah, remember? Do I play Mega Man? I mean, sometimes. It's not like I commonly... It's not a common thing. I just said it was a common thing, trying to say it wasn't a common thing, but... I mean, I like Mega Man well enough. Okay, let's try various redeems and see what's broken. Is this broken? Yes, it's doing the exact thing where this creature, this rabbit, pops up on the screen and nothing happens again. So this is exactly what happened on the previous stream. And it was frustrating then, and it's still frustrating now. My only guess is that this has to do with something getting stuck in the queue. So I have to... Maybe I simply have too much stuff in my OBS and everything is mad at me? I don't know. I'm not a computer genius, unfortunately. Now, in what pile of objects did I place this rabbit? Such is always the question. It's over here. Boop. And so, okay. Now, if I restart the funny redeem machine, boo-doo-boo, that's my computer. This didn't really fix it last time. It very, very temporarily fixed something. How about now? No. So, as far as I can tell, the only way to alleviate this is to restart OBS, which is not a practical option for when the stream is live. Is it? I don't think anyone had done the Magic 8 Ball redeem so far, except for me trying to do it right now. Which means that it wasn't broken because of this. Necessarily. Several things happened at the same time earlier. So it's not that. Unless it was. Oh, man, there's no way to really like QA this into working again that I can easily see. I cannot see the path laid out before me in order to figure out how to fix this and make it just work reliably. So this probably means a regular text-to-speech redeem also doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't happen. It seems to be that text-to-speech things are getting stuck. I think. Now, even if I like reset all the cues and try again. No. So this should still work probably. Yes. And some portion of the funny birthday redeem for Calico might work. This still might be very loud. Yeah, now it's gonna get stuck because she's
Birthday 2.
Oh.
Nom 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 nom.
Why did that work? Why did her text-to-speech there work? Is it because it's not a user input? Is it user inputs that's getting stuck? But then also destroyed isn't user inputs, it's random. Let's try this again. Well, that works too, I guess. Okay, but this is stuck. Without the rest of the context for this, and also mystery event getting stuck on this stream, I hadn't heard the term folk absurdism, but in my trying to make my stream work live, it is becoming apparent that that probably does describe a lot of the things that I get up to. So, okay, now where have I put the mystery event text? I think that's... No. Do I have too many OBS scenes or something? Is my OBS overloaded? Is my internet exploding? I don't know. This is some kind of mystery event. Okay, what if I just start removing stuff arbitrarily that is not in use? Like I have this scene over here that is just a game capture, which is never used on stream. I never use this zoom in scene. I could probably consolidate a lot of things. Because for some reason I have starting soon, BRB, and thanks for watching as 3 individual scenes, and I could probably consolidate them into one if I really wanted to. No, it's not in here. It's not in here. Not in here. No. There it is. It's on the same scene as the Calico being pet text. I could probably compress Ochette and Barry into the same scene too. Strange sentences. So I could make my OBS layout more efficient. But is that the problem? At the very least, I think this is interesting in its own way, especially when I'm not getting like actively mad at it. What if I go to the BikuBot server? and try to locate any similar problems. Because I don't even know how to describe the problem I'm having, really. Support. Hmm. Hmm. Is it? Is it media control? Let's try restarting the bot again. Because not all of these use media control, so that doesn't really make sense. Let's try doing text-to-speech first.
Test.
Okay. Now let's try doing the magic 8-ball. And now everything will be stuck again.
Does this work?
It's very delayed. And also broken. What is happening? Hello, welcome to the tech support corner where everything broke in the same way it did last time, and I don't know why. Also, we beat a boss that we fought as a Frost Witch. It still took me a few tries. You might recall the Elmir of the Briar or whatever. Do you think the text-to-speech runs through a server? Is that how it works? I actually wouldn't know if that was the case. Whoop. Nope, that's wrong. Hold on. Now you're over here. I wasn't in studio mode, so you got to see behind the scenes. I do have the Pomander, and it did accidentally duplicate itself to be twice as long again. Why have I split up all my scenes in this way? Okay, so you're broken. I'm noticing that redeems get stuck, and I wonder if that implies anything specifically. So what are we... The next step in that should be text-to-speech. So is this stuck?
Test.
No. But, okay, so if I go to the points list, and I go to Magic 8-Ball, and I scroll through, there is a weird wrinkle in this, but I don't think that that's being, like, the entire cause of it. Probably. Because I have the user input message. I have two user inputs, technically. Because I wanted to display the question on screen. And just because of some weird limitations of the program, I couldn't do that in the same way. Let me see. But, like, that part got through that time. And the part where it got stuck... Okay, it did turn the triangle off. It got stuck at randomizer then. Technically. So let's reboot the bot for like a 5th time. I can't imagine this is super interesting, but maybe it is. What if I tried the destroyed redeem first this time? There it is. It's broken still.
Destroy!
Okay. What if I go into the destroyed redeem and let me I don't think this is Calico's fault. If that's what you're implying. Yeah. It might just be OBS, but I wish I could do anything about it. Wait. God, I've made so many convoluted things at this point. Or I've made this so convoluted at this point. Where's... Okay, what if I just hit play on this in the thing? Okay, it's broken in this same way again. Which means I have to find where this text is again, because I forgot. Oh, I didn't see this YouTube message. Mind if you ask a quick question regarding my old username? I'd say be careful, because I don't really like my old username. But perhaps go ahead. While we're in this mess. Man. Where... I already forgot where the mystery event text was. Oh, right, it's in the Calico pet text scene. Elmir of the Briar Phase 2. Yeah, it do be like that. Something I noticed. Where? Oh, there's the media control. Well, the media control's obviously working. Oh, no, my old username had nothing to do with Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. It was a more personal and specific thing. I had like a character in the 3rd grade who I called Shaggy Dog, and I just used that as my username arbitrarily, like as soon as I got on the internet as a kid. And that stuck around. So nothing to do with Scooby-Doo. Man, I really don't know where this could have broken. Sorry for this constant computer sound effect. This seems to fix... yeah, I am also streaming to YouTube. The YouTube chat is not present on screen because I don't think that's possible with my setup. But yeah, there is a YouTube chat that I can see. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. I don't remember what all these icons mean, and highlighting them isn't doing anything. Hold on. It seems like this program is disconnected from something. Is that it? Is it having trouble connecting? It's connected to OBS. Do I have to reauthorize the Twitch connection? It's not working. It's not letting me do that. So that's not... Authentication failed. Okay, I see a problem here. Yeah, there are some streamers probably who have a lot of sound effects and pop-ups and stuff, and like all of these things I'm trying to get to work are like channel point redeems on Twitch. So whether or not they pop up is the result of people redeeming them. And I apologize if we don't prefer that, but that's just sort of how the stream has ended up being over time. The bot has now crashed when I'm trying to authenticate stuff. So let me open the task manager. Okay, so we're having some, I think it might be like Twitch or OBS issues. Yes, hello there in YouTube channel chat. I am attempting to stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. We're running into some technical issues that are unrelated to that, I think. Okay, now it says it's connected to everything. After I rebooted it again. So that was just an issue with that single particular boot of it. So that might not be it. All right. Gonna do one more destroyed redeem to see if this works out. I'm going to try running it from the bot. No, it's still broken.
Destroy!
And for the record, this does also have a cooldown normally. Yeah, streaming can be quite difficult. I wouldn't describe myself as particularly tech savvy either, despite cobbling all of this stuff together. Like, I don't know how to troubleshoot. And I think this like program that I use isn't like widely used enough where I could just be like, program doesn't work, Google help, because then you know, is it like the WebSocket thing? Yeah, mic stuff is really difficult to set up too. I think I'm pretty sure I have all the stuff set up correctly. What if can I disconnect and reconnect to OBS? Does this do anything?
Work. Outlook, good.
What? Is disconnect and reconnect to OBS the secret when it breaks like this? Because that worked. All right. One more elaborate redeem. I promise this doesn't happen this often.
To the stars.
There we go.
Legs go, Mega Man. Close enough to feel it pass. Lots of spaghetti.
Destroy!
I'm so mad. Not like really mad. And yeah, I don't think there's a way for the Twitch redeems to be usable on YouTube.
I'll be examining this.
But they do exist. Also, for the record, if I ever get to the point of popularity where like a significant amount of these redeems is being used constantly and it gets overwhelming, I will have to increase like the cooldown or make them bit rewards or something, but I don't see that happening. Yeah, the haiku redeems are, well, first of all, let me say that there's like over 100 possibilities for each line. That means there's like over 1.3 million possible haikus at the moment. Like, I have it in the, yeah, 1,341,120 possible haikus, asterisk. A lot of the original, the Redeem's original thing that it's referencing is like an instant kill in Guilty Gear, where a haiku is generated. And it started with just that, and then I added a bunch of lines from like haikus I had written about some things as a different joke, and I just added a whole bunch of other like quotes and lines that I could think of that worked here and there, and it eventually just grew into a large collection of random lines and references. So, yeah. Each of the lines in that is, yeah, there's also this redeem. But each of the lines in the haiku is picked from a list that I have made over time. Right, I was just like clearing out random stuff in Limgrave that I hadn't done yet. Oh, Callie? Callie? Calico? Calico. Callie, Callie, the cake. Callie. I guess she doesn't want it. Well, got...
Q, shifted.
Why did that one work? Everything is a mystery. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed the revamped Destroyed Redeem. Even if it doesn't appear to be functioning entirely, something's broken. She's supposed to have her cake and eat it. This is becoming increasingly funny at this point. Okay, so if I go... Can I manually cause all of this to happen? Just by pressing each individual part.
Birthday 2. Num nom 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 nom.
And then, just pretend all of that happened in normal style. So what did we get stuck on that time? It's the text-to-speech again. The text-to-speech is just arbitrarily either working or not working. But, like, it's consistently getting stuck on things with text-to-speech being part of the deal. Anyway, let's go over here. We're just gonna have to accept that this is not working right now. And, well, it's not working in like a similar way as before. I'm not sure why. I think all I can really do is hope that it resolves itself at some point. Anyway, you might remember this boss as like one of the first things we did as Frostwitch. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you continue to enjoy catching up on all the VODs and whatnot too. And sorry that your chat is not displaying on screen. Well, anyway. So far, it seems that streaming on YouTube has allowed at least a couple more people to, like, watch. So, it's probably worth it, because I don't think it's responsible for anything breaking. That was happening before. Tombsward Cave. I guess it works like to just have a lot of the stream be tech issues and also meandering about doing optional stuff that's below my level, because, well, oops, that's the wrong button. I think some old ancient muscle memory that I haven't used in a while about where I put the horse button returned. But, somehow it feels like it fits the general tone of the streams to be doing tech issue puzzles for the entire time. Kind of reminds me of that one time when I had to learn how to edit the hex code of a Pokemon ROM live to glitch past a Snorlax that was stuck. Or whatever. That was a weird one. And then it turned out to be unnecessary in the end. Oh yeah, this cave. Well, we might get poisoned. Yep. It's still quite funny how in this game you just sort of end up getting poisoned if you have poison stuck to you. Meaning that you're actively discouraged from rolling through poison and rot. It wasn't Aerodactyl or Articuno. It was the Snorlax. Oh wait, no, it was the Snorlax claimed to be Aerodactyl, so it was Aerodactyl, but it was Snorlax who was Aerodactyl. It was a confusing time. Pokemon bootlegs are an interesting place. And then at the end, I went back and did that again, and then held down the fast forward key, and after like what I think would have effectively been several real-time minutes, the text box did actually advance, meaning that the entire hex editing process was completely unnecessary. That was fun, though. I'm not going to worry too much about being poisoned, I think. I feel like this is a cave that I thought was like later or elsewhere, I think. Oh right, I don't have exploding bolts equipped. Dang it. I underestimated my opponent because of the earliness of the video game. And also because I was preoccupied with trying to menu. That was very silly. This stream is very silly. As officially rated by me, the judge of how silly something is, apparently. A little off topic, but do you think college is a scam? That is rather sudden, but I do... Well, my experience with college was that I had to drop out due to a number of health troubles. Mental and physical. Many chronic illnesses and whatnot. And also I had a lot of negative experiences in my college courses in general. So I don't have a high opinion of college, but I don't know if I can really say whether or not the entire system is a scam. I would lean towards yes, but I would also admit that I am not an expert in this field. I don't have a high opinion of it, and it didn't go well for me. But I imagine the experience varies a lot from person to person and college to college and professor to professor and so on. I believe there's a lot of faults in the education system in general, but I can't claim to be like an expert. I only have my own experience to draw on. Relatives who went to college, but it didn't guarantee them any good paying job. Yeah. I wouldn't know much about that either, because I am unemployed as a result of all the various chronic health and disability issues that I have, and also like dependent. So the closest thing I can have to a job is this, and it doesn't really pay me anything since I'm a very small streamer. But so I don't have a lot of experience in that field either. But I can say that I think I have heard in general that college degrees don't really guarantee you much. Like there's a number of people who end up with jobs that have nothing to do with what they majored in, or like other things like that of that nature. So, and yeah, jobs demand a lot of experience, and you can't really get experience without having a job, but you can't get a job and so on. What? The whole system has some issues. I am not fond of capitalism in general either, which is really the root of all of that. You know, I'm gonna check some other things while I'm computer. How's my CPU and memory usage doing? Elden Ring and OBS are using most of it. Well, I mean, using most of the stuff that is being used. It is not like too much of the stuff. I don't mean they're using like 99%. How's my CPU temperature doing? Computer sound effect. Normal. Nominal. Okay. Just wondering. I could tell a handful of funny and or horrific stories from my college experience that really sort of shaped my opinion of it, and also probably contributed to some of my problems. But I don't really want to go into a ton of detail. I will say that a bit of a funny anecdote was that there's one, like, I'll keep it vague, but so that it is funny. There was one course that I took that I ended up hating, like, and hating the professor so much that the syllabus said that ostensibly, there's like a major semester-long project to write an essay for the class, right? And I ended up hating the class and the professor so much, just because of his attitude in general. He had like a notably bad attitude towards women, as one example, that I just completely did not write the essay at all. I just decided, no essay for you, man. I'm not gonna do the thing that you said was like 75% of my final grade. You want to guess what grade I got in the course? Pause for dramatic effect. I got an A because the teacher cared so little that the fact that I didn't do the project that was the majority of my grade did not even factor into anything, and I just passed and I got an A, and it worked out. Why is my game hitching also? Yeah, that professor was like really bad as a person. Like, on one hand, I suppose I am grateful that I didn't have to write the essay. Success is random and we live in hell. Yeah, that's pretty much a summary of a lot of things that I believe these days. I wonder if like I forgot there was a ballista. I forgot about this tower entirely. Well, that was funny. Failure is also random sometimes. Yeah, everyone crowd around for a party. I wonder if some of my issues are like, or some of the issues with the OBS stuff, rather, not my issues in general. I wonder if my computer is having a deal. I maybe need to like clean my computer, not physically, but like digitally, you know? Do the old spyware malware check that I probably should do more often, but don't. I don't remember if this tower is like anything, but I might as well. Oh yeah, this is normally like a teleport to somewhere. Man, this is a weird stream. I forgot that I have no health. Dang it. I'm having a time. I am sometimes foiled by very small areas. Guess I can approach from over here. I'm not too worried about like losing my runes or anything. Another kind of like, what? Hey, you can't attack me while I'm on the ladder. Incredibly rude. Another kind of like anecdotally funny thing about college, without going into details again, is that like I switched majors once, and yeah, them guard countering me is fun. Where does this go again? Right, over here. I remember this part. But an anecdotally funny thing about college is that I switched majors, and the reason I switched majors the first time is because I didn't like anything in that program. I didn't like how it was going. Kind of like burnt out and started hating it. And then after I switched majors, I ended up not liking anything in that program and not liking the professors and burning out and hating that too. And like, maybe that doesn't sound funny, but it is funny to me now that like, I tried and it didn't work several times. Well, I also switched colleges, but that didn't work either. So yeah, summary, I don't have a high opinion of college. I don't think... Wait, I think I remember as a Frost Witch realizing that they actually did let you access the elevator over here. Because like, part of this mod makes everything more open-ended than normal. So I think you can just get to Lanedale from here. I mean, we already did... Yeah, they just have the elevator up. So this isn't like an early preview. This is just a shortcut. You can go here if you want. I don't really want to. What else do I need to do? Lots of things, really. I'm not entirely sure if I want to stream this entire playthrough either. People seem to be interested, so maybe I should. But Hello. Yes, I am now on YouTube as well. I am experimenting with streaming on both platforms. The YouTube platforms, like the chat will not appear on screen because the chat display thing that I have only like shows Twitch chat. And also YouTube doesn't have access to all the channel point stuff, which is mostly broken right now anyway for reasons I can't quite figure out. But yes, you are also able to watch on YouTube if you so desire. It will just seem like all of my conversations with you are one-sided and I'm talking to myself. But if it lets more people see the video, then I guess it's overall a benefit. Because none of the tech issues I'm having are related to this as of right now. They're just kind of there. I think it's funny that Tree Sentinel can actually still like do the reflect shield thing. Except like it doesn't actually reflect bolts, so it just sort of scared me the first time it happened. Dang it. I need to remember, probably, to use jumping attacks a little bit more. Ow. I feel like I am not, like, I don't have my head in the game, as they might say. Well, whatever. Well, thanks for stopping by and saying hello, and good night. Rest well. I do appreciate it when people stop by and say hello. The Pomander is very powerful. I wonder if Vare is over here. Cause oh, I think my computer is having a time. I'm beginning to suspect it might be my computer, though also like, unless that's because I'm like using double the upload to stream on multiple platforms, and that is because of this. It's possible that it's my computer that's the origin of something. There is an alternative way to stream on multiple platforms where you stream to a like rebroadcasting service. But I opted for the just do it from my computer with a plugin option. It's all a very experimental sort of process, which I should probably try and iron out before Monster Hunter Wilds is released. Anyway, we saw the other half of the tutorial area earlier, because the tutorial area has been reworked into 2 dungeons, which we saw previously as the Frost Witch. Wait, what? I don't think I was supposed to be able to like almost get in there, but like, but yeah, they like blocked off this path, and then this dungeon was here before, but they reworked it into something different. It is now Ice Lightning. And we've done this one before on the Frost Witch as well. And it should also be significantly easier with the aid of the Crossbow build and the higher level and all that. This one took us a great deal of time on another character. That I remember. Because it became like a scary thing about managing resources and whatnot. I did this again as like a low-level marksman before I figured out the Perfumer build. And it was also a similar situation there. Whoa, why is my game doing this? I haven't dropped any frames, which does lead me to believe it's not an issue with upload. Though, again, I am not a tech expert, so I don't know for sure. I don't know. Elden Ring wasn't doing this before. I'm leaning towards something happened with my computer. Personally. So I did just check my like CPU usage and stuff, and it seemed like it wasn't doing anything ridiculous. Let's check again. You know, whenever you like open your task manager and it's like 56 CPU usage, and then in a microsecond it cuts itself in half as if it's trying to hide that it was doing something wrong from you, like it's a little guilty, like tiny little dog or whatever. Yeah, that happened just now. Don't know what that's about. I wonder how it is. Oh, I don't have mod view on. There we go. Well, okay, you got it. But I wonder how it is that like bots like that get their usernames. Do people like manually input those? Or those generated like Twitch clip names or whatever? Because I feel like I notice a trend of like viewer bots having entertaining usernames, like likely 5 years old. Well, computer, what are you doing? Okay, I'm Yeah, I feel like it's becoming more and more likely over time that my computer is doing something silly. Gonna have to like run some computer checks and be like, computer, why? And maybe my computer will be polite and answer. I don't know what that lever did. Oh, it's a very, very, very long elevator, right? Possible this might end up being a bit of a shorter stream, since a lot of the point of this was like experimental stuff, and like it is Calico's birthday and the redeem did work a couple times. I'm gonna leave that on for like the rest of the month probably, but yeah, don't have to do long streams every time. Something to remember. Right, the slime pit. I sort of remember this slime pit. Yeah, they don't like lightning. I've remembered this now. Stop it. I think if I set all of it on fire from a distance, that would ultimately benefit me in some way. Though I don't know how it works in whatever game you're alluding to. I forget if there was a purpose to the slime pit, though I did remember the existence of it. I think this is like an exit from somewhere. There might be a hidden wall. Kick is still the funniest way to search for invisible walls. Looking like no. Oh, there's probably, I think there's a ladder that descends from there. Maybe, maybe not. No, maybe you just fall in here and the elevator is meant to be a way out. Okay, lightning works pretty well against them too. I wasn't using lightning mode, even though it does seem like a good default in here because it's ostensibly like a lightning themed dungeon. Because it is based on dragon cult incantations, which in this mod are lightning and cold. And I know this because it gives you a reward of them at the end and like a weapon for them. I guess that doesn't mean the things in here have to resist the lightning damage. Orb. Remember how this game has orb in it as enemy? You can fight the orb. Sometimes I forget about this. But we should honestly all remember orb. Wait a minute. Hey, enemies that dodge bolts don't dodge explosive ones? The ones that are programmed to dodge projectiles don't do that with explosive bolt? Huh? Or so it seems anyway. Well, I mean, it can still miss. I'll swap it to the easier to press button for my own convenience and for continued testing. Yeah, they just don't try to dodge it. When they do try to dodge every other type. Well, that makes up for the less damage that it does, for certain. I guess it's the go-to bolt now. It's a weird quirk. Yeah, there's an ice lightning weapon. Well, they don't home in. Oh, hey. I guess magic missiles don't necessarily home in. Well, I think magic missiles are like guaranteed to hit, so they do kind of. What? Oh. Got stuck on the wall. Okay, you can hit me from there. Yeah, we have all the tools to make this an easier location than it was in the past, last time we were here. I mean, they can still like strafe a little bit, but they don't do like a dodge. Interesting. The strafing is a behavior independent of the bolts anyway, so that makes sense. What should I put in the other slot, I wonder? Magic probably isn't the most effective damage type here, but it might be good to have around. Yeah, I didn't think so. Hmm? Oh, I see. Now we're back over here. Well, I mean, I say back over here, but we haven't been here as this character, technically. Right! That's what's over here. It is very satisfying to watch that particular boss explode. I think it's funny that I broke its stance, and yet I still got hit by something else it had done beforehand. Yeah, Underworld Bubble Shield. It's a single-use barrier. Whoops. But it explodes. Ice Lightning Dragon Wizard is a funny class. Is there anything else? I haven't done that. I guess I never did that. Or that. I think I'll do a couple more things and then just like wrap it up as a short stream. Because I'm beginning to suspect that I might want to check my computer for problems. And also, like, tired today, and you know. Honestly, I should just Normalize short streams, TBH. Oh yeah, if you weren't here, there's a funny thing that this can do on horseback. It continuously emits perfume when held down. You can just like hold it up to someone and like delete them. It is amusing to me. It's easy to forget that I haven't done these dungeons because they're just like... Skipping over the Limgrave dungeons is weird. It doesn't have like an infinite amount of AoE. The fire pillars are still much funnier when you have crossbow. Probably shouldn't use the explosive bolts in such a way that activates the pillars again by mistake, though. Ooh, oh, it's just decorative. According to various computer, I am not dropping any frames or anything, but I am seeing the game hitch. I believe my computer is not like at a weirdly high usage of anything or high temperature. So I need to do some stuff. And maybe that also pertains to the weird OBS problems. I don't know. No. And then I guess like one more thing to do. Okay, no, there's a couple other things left in Limgrave. So let's do, let's just fight this Crucible Knight or whatever, and then that'll be enough. I should start saying it more often. Normalize short streams. It's okay to not stream for a long time. Stop it. Do not toot it. Wait, I did go up here. I just, forgot that I could teleport there, I guess. It is quite silly. Game? There was some sort of JoJo freeze frame going on there. Well, all right then. Now, I'm probably going to keep playing this at some point. Maybe I'll just start working my way into Caelid instead of clearing out everything, everywhere. Or maybe not. I don't know. I operate primarily on whim and impulse. But... okay, this might mostly work. I think she is just going to stare at the cake and then nothing will happen. But yeah, I think that'll probably be it for today. Short stream. Gonna start making normalized short streams my new catchphrase. I hope it catches on. Gonna evaluate my computer and see if I can force it to stop sucking in some way. I don't know the source of this problem, but maybe you'll find it out. So that was a little bit of Elden Ring. That was a test of streaming on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. When I hit stop streaming, it should stop it on both services. Hooray. So thank you all for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you all have a good rest of your day and or night, and I hope to see you again next stream, whenever and whatever that may be. So, good night, everyone. Go stare at a cake, and then, like, don't touch it. That works. That's something. It's something to do with the text-to-speech, oddly enough. But anyway, good night.